All right. Meanwhile, the area behind Clinton's big speech on Saturday looked jam-packed with supporters. Video from the event showing her at the center of what appeared to be a very enthusiastic crowd. Her campaign team even careful to tweet this photo of a seemingly packed crowd attending the kickoff. But look closely. Look at that area just off to the side. It tells a different story. Clinton's camp had initially sectioned it off to serve as an overflow area, there it is, for additional supporters, but apparently there was no need. Even MSNBC pointing out the crowd was, quote, largely enthusiastic, but not overwhelmed. And also, Jedediah, not exactly, as Judy Miller pointed out, the Obama coalition.
Yeah.
She said it looked like a very white crowd. That was a tweet Judy sent.
Well, she's worried that voters on the left are going to stay home. And we've talked about that, for a long time. And I've argued that perhaps that would be the same if we had a Jeb Bush. But she's worried that she can't galvanize people the way that President Obama did. President Obama was able to get people who ordinarily wouldn't be inclined to vote for him policy-wise to come out and be excited about him. We're talking about young people who ordinarily weren't voting in those numbers. Lots of different people. And he did have a diversity of people. When you looked out into the audience, you saw people of all ages, all races. I give him that credit. That campaign did a great job of doing that. I think she's going to have a really hard time with that, Andrea, because people aren't drawn to her, particularly people in academia and the hard left who are drawn to Bernie Sanders. Look at Bernie Sanders' rallies.
Yeah.
People are more excited about him than they are about Hillary.
Senator,
that has to be painful
Will you
for
tell him to
her.
comb his hair, please? I tell him when he was in the Senate, you look at him, it's like, Bernie, stop spitting and stop and comb your hair, buddy.
That is
It's
hard. Well, his bedhead seems to be working because he had bigger crowds over the weekend
Oh, my Lord.
than Clinton did. But Senator, is it tough to sort of take Hillary Clinton as, what does Obama say, needs that new car smell? Because she's on Roosevelt Island. She's echoing Roosevelt. She's hitting Republicans, calling them the party of yesterday, referencing the Beatles song. I mean, was it a bit of a stretch for her to go
Of course
there?
it's a stretch. She hasn't driven in 20 years. Okay, how do you not drive your own car? And when she goes to these events, for example, in New Hampshire, she's there right now. They're all controlled. She's kicking out reporters. They're very focused on getting their message out and not having that free-for-all, the ability to look somebody in the eye, go to their home or their living room, their business, and have them ask questions over and over and over. Open town hall. She's not doing that. It's very controlled, and I think it's going to backfire.
I want to pick up on that point, Harris, because there is a report that the Clinton camp kicked out a reporter, David Martosco, who is the bureau chief for the Daily Mail. Now, they say, oh, he's not part of the White House pool. But she is so hopelessly paranoid and so hopelessly controlling. Doesn't it point to the fact that if she can't let everybody in and take these questions, she really is trying to script everything because she's worried?
All right. So just in the last half hour or so, we've seen some pushback from the Clinton campaign. So that's how much this criticism is hurting.
Oh, yeah.
They're responding to it, because when you keep a pool reporter out, you better have a really good reason. Now, it is true that one of the benchmarks that we use, or that you've seen campaigns use with regard to us in the press corps, is who are the key White House press corps members. Those are the ones who will be cleared for each campaign. Some go beyond that. You very seldom see them fall below that. That's what the Clinton campaign is doing. They're saying no because, well, it doesn't look like this guy belonged to that group, but we're going to take another look. We're going to discuss it. We'll get back to you. So there are two big questions. One, wouldn't they have known that technicality before? And two, why did they wait so long to fix it? But again,
we know why,
when
Harris,
you look
we
at
know
the,
why.
well, I know you want to say the Des Moines Register piece that she did. She did local radio in Iowa last night as well. But the tough questions from the transcripts that I'm seeing were only asked about trade, none about the Clinton Foundation, legitimate questions. I would say this one more thing, too, with regard to the event here in New York. Did she lose her email that had the list of people you can invite when she was a senator in the state of New York and she could only get 5,500 people to come out? Like, did she lose the email? Because she needed those emails to invite some people out.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of tough questions, and her record in New York, she was a senator here. She didn't really get into that as well. I mean, she promised upstate New York, Melissa, 200,000 jobs. She never delivered. To Harris's point, she hasn't gotten questions whether or not she would repeal her husband's crime bill, the religious freedom bill. All these important questions, she's not getting them.
No, she's not being challenged at all. And I would go even a step further. A family from our school accidentally wandered over to Roosevelt Island over the weekend, not realizing that the event was going on. And they walked in. They said they were stopped when they got off the tram and said, "Are you supporters?" And they said no. And they said, "Well, then you don't get a wristband. Go around, go back." And they were sort of stranded and sent back. This poor family with two little kids. I mean, it's like they just said it was so strange, and you know, they just shuffled off to the side. I guess I could see not wanting to let people who don't support you into your rally and try to control it, but that kind of sums up the whole feeling you have around the campaign.
And it's to get to Roosevelt Island.
I know, they were
so
really
if you have a family with 2 kids who actually made it out, who cares how they vote? Go get a free hot dog. You might like what you hear.
She just doesn't
That's a good point.
She doesn't look confident, you know? She's supposed to be this tough, strong woman out there. You know, she's going to be the first female president. She's going to want women to rally behind her, and she's scared of us. She's scared to sit down with any one of us and answer tough questions. So that's the message I get. She's scared. She's scared of the GOP candidates. She's scared of tough questions. She's not that tough, strong woman that she claims to be if she can't sit down with Harris Faulkner and take some questions.
Because how did she win her positions?
I am Barney the dinosaur.
Really, though?
I mean, think about it. How did she win her positions in office?
Yeah.
The victim. She's a professional
that's
victim.
interesting.
Her
I've heard that
husband,
criticism
remember,
before.
Rick Lazio bullied her. Then President Obama was the glass ceiling that stopped her.
So
a man
does that
stopped
work
her.
if you're trying to be the first woman president, though? Does that work?
Well, she's speaking out of both sides of her mouth, right? She's a strong woman, but then she's also been a victim. So we'll see how she goes.
Doesn't inspire confidence. In
I think one of the Republican men on the other side will be bullying her.
No, I think Carly Fiorina. Carly Fiorina will have the opportunity to do that in really Colorado and a whole host of
that's
issues.
great.
I think that's going to happen.